Hi, this is Becky from Miss B Group Travel. Welcome to our channel. Hope everybody's doing okay. I travel the world with many ladies as a group travel organizer, and I myself have been on different trips with other people where they've organized events. One of the questions I keep getting from my friends and my family and people who've never traveled in a group with other ladies, whether that the ones that they know or don't know, is how do you manage to survive traveling with other people, personalities, all the rest of it. So I thought I'll do a quick video for you and I will put down my top 10 tips of how I survive group travel. Now, I would love to hear feedback from yourself or some comments if you found this video useful, or if you've been on a group trip yourself and there's something that you want to add. Again, I'm very open to that. The tips that I'm giving you are based on trips there on group events where we've organized the flights, all organized, the hotel, and it's got a little bit of an itinerary on there. So this is not like from where to choose a hotel, that sort of thing. Okay, so number one, I would definitely say, when you say you're going to go on a group trip, family, friends, or people that you don't know, the number one thing to check is your attitude. Yes, you heard me, it is your attitude. A lot of the times we sit there and say, oh my goodness, other people, but yourself, when you go on that trip and say, I am determined to have fun. I am here for a reason. I'm here because it is an adventure. It's meeting new people, seeing a new country. Then that is your main focus. So my attitude is already on point on saying that is what I'm going to achieve. Anything else that comes in between is a little bit of noise. Okay? And once you have got your own attitude in check, you will not allow the pettiness and the littleness things to affect you. I refuse that. I say, look, I'm going on this trip. Thank you, Lord, for the people that I'm traveling with. And, anything else that happens, as long as we're safe, and nothing dangerous has happened, I'm okay. A little word of scuffle here and there, not a problem to me. So your number one thing to watch is your attitude. Good attitude, that will last you the whole of the trip. Some people might see you as a pushover, or they might look at you and think, okay, but at the end of the day, you have to mentally tune your attitudes to, I'm here for a purpose, this is what I want to achieve, and I'm also here to have fun, and that's it. Okay? And number two, friendships. Do not go into a group trip expecting that you're going to be friends with everybody. That's not going to happen. It's life. You're going to meet people that you're going to be friends with, and then you're going to meet people that you may not get along with. That's all okay. And in regarding forming friendships, if you've gone on a trip where you know absolutely nobody, then be open-minded about it. Okay? Be open-minded about the people that you're meeting. The one thing I love about group travel is, of course, you get to meet new people, but the fact that you've come out of a little bit of a comfort zone, and this is, speaking to those that have never traveled in a group, you come out of your comfort zone, you are letting people into a little bit of your life, and they're letting you into a little bit of their life. We've been on a group trip where two ladies, one I would say a master baker, the other one starting into the game, they met on the trip. Now they have become the best of buddies because they've had a business connection. Okay, so that sometimes happens, but if it doesn't, that's okay. Number three, I would say speak up. Group trips, and when we organize our trips, we try and by all means to cover every eventuality or every space or whatever that we can do to make it more comfortable for you. But in life, as you know, anything can happen. Okay? It might be that one of the excursions that you're due to go has closed, or something unexpectedly has happened and the itinerary needs to change. So be flexible and speak up. If it's something that requires group members to contribute or give their opinion or make a vote or a decision, speak up. There's no point moaning about it in the evening and saying, well, we could have done this, or when you come back, or writing a review saying, well, they didn't cater this for me, when the opportunity to speak up came up and you didn't do that. When we do speak up, there are some people you are going to travel with who are naturally natural organizers. It could be part of what they do as their day-to-day job. So they might appear bossy, but they're not actually being bossy. They're used to handling situations, something like this. So that is one of the benefits of being in a group travel. You may not need to have to worry about resolving everything yourself, but do speak up. If your opinion is taken that time, that's okay. If not, that's okay as well. At least you've put your point across. And if there's a safety measure or a safety concern that you feel you don't feel right about it, you can sit out whatever it is that's going on at that time. Okay. Number 4, money. I do not encourage people to actually, well, I would, it is dependent, but regarding money, I would say carry as much loose change as you can, especially for when you go for dinners, or we've had an excursions or for tipping, that sort of thing. Also, you have to manage your own money in the sense that, yes, you might go with 1 or 2 cards, but have another outlet that if those were to get lost, what could you do? Borrowing money from another group member can be a bit of a challenge because guess what? You might not be able to give that money back straight away, or it might be that you've gone, on a day trip somewhere and people want to buy souvenirs, and then they won't be able to give you the money they have. Maybe the rest of their money is back at the hotel. So I would say to yourself, have another way or have another outlet where you have funds with you. Try not to borrow from your group members. Just in case you're not able to. And if you are ever stuck like what I had in a certain country, my cards would not work, all but one. So I had to PayPal myself the money into my other account and withdraw it that way. Okay. But regarding money, again, when you've gone out for dinner, make sure to take a picture of your menu of the things that you've ordered. If it's not all inclusive, if the foods that you've ordered, write down how much it will cost, and also check if there's a service charge, because most establishments will have a service charge for groups. Once you've done that, if there isn't on the menu, ask them if they do charge, a percentage for service charge. Some of it is mandatory. Maybe it might be 10%, which will split amongst everyone. Or it could just be that, they just work on the tip. So whatever tip that you give them. But just check before you do that. So that is why it's good to have a little bit of loose change with you when you're in a group. Okay. Now, number 5, interactions. You will have a lot of opinionated people on the trip. For you and even for the persons that you're traveling with, I would really suggest is if you're going to have interactions with people, try and keep the conversation light. Okay, everybody's there for a good time, or everybody's there to learn, or everybody's there to see a country. Try and keep the conversation light. Doom and gloom stories are not a big no-no. Things like you're at the airport, we're about to leave, and you start talking about planes crashing. Someone in your group might have a fear of flying, and this is a big step for them, and that sort of conversation before you leave does not leave somebody feeling good. Also, a lot of topics that come up in a group, sometimes it's religion, sometimes it's sexuality, anything of that nature. If that ever comes up, try and respond to issues like that in a positive way, because nobody wants to be made to feel down because of a religion or a sexuality or a belief that they have. Okay, so just be mindful of the conversations that you have. At number 6, I would say have your own to-do list. Mostly if you're going on a group trip, for example, you say you're going to Marrakesh, you'll see the itinerary of what else you're gonna be encountering. Most group travel organizers will always leave a little space in between other things that you can do for yourself, or you can spend time for yourself. So if it's a country you've never been to, but you definitely desperately want to do something in that country, before you go, you could let the group organizer know and say, look, whilst we're there, this is something that I'd like to do. I notice it's not on the itinerary, but I know we've got some free time here. Maybe I'll pop over and do that. It's your own me time. Maybe somebody else might want to join you if you're scared to go on your own, because certain countries I would definitely say maybe go with somebody if it's your first time, or if the language there is not something that you can converse with. Okay, but schedule some you time. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you've made it clear. And that's the same as when you go to a club, or you go to a venue, or a concert. If you're going to go to the ladies, or if you're going to go for a comfort break, you let somebody know so that the rest of the group is not worried about where you are. Okay, so don't forget to pencil in some you time as well, because sometimes it can be a bit full on, and there's nothing wrong with that. Number 7 is timekeeping. This is a major one. This one and the following one coming up is a major one. With timekeeping, I sometimes I really am baffled by, we have a trip, we've got an itinerary organized, we're leaving to go somewhere at 9 o'clock, and we have ladies coming out and taking pictures of each other in the lobby during the time that we're supposed to actually, either go into the transport, or we're supposed to start walking. If you're going to be in a group, be mindful of other people's time as well as your own. If your trip is supposed to leave at 9 o'clock, try and be downstairs at 9:15. That way you can take those lovely photos and be on your way. The thing about the lobby photos and things like that, those can be taken anytime during the holiday. These can be taken. You can come down at midnight and take those lovely pictures if you want. You and your roommate, you can dress up and do that. But just be mindful of other people's time, because time is money. Because for myself, and because when we've planned a trip and we have to go to a certain place, a certain time, those drivers, there's a program there. If we're late, sometimes we get charged. Some of them have got waiting time. You're late 15 minutes, then there's a charge that's associated to that. So just be mindful of time. Okay, number 8, photos. This is a major perk as well. Can be a bit of an annoyance, but a major perk of traveling in a group. There's always somebody there ready to take your picture. I absolutely love this. If you are going to ask somebody to take your picture and you're fussy with pictures, I think we all are anyway, I would just say to them, look, I'm looking for this type of, this type of picture. I'm going to do this. Please tell me if I look okay, anything that's, whatever on my dress, please do. If you're in a group and you're taking a group member's picture, if you can see there's a bit of soup on her dress, tell her before you take the picture. Tell her so that she can cover up or put a scarf or something. Don't just take because she asked me for a take, because that is probably just one of those important times for her, and say, oh, this is a memory that she wants to keep. So help make her memory that much better as well. And if it's on the other side and you had a picture that's taken that you don't feel good about it, don't moan about it to an extent that it disintegrates the group. I think maybe just ask for another picture, or ask somebody else to take it, and just say, oh, you know what, let's try this side or the other side. Pictures are amazing. There are some people who have to take 200 pictures to get the perfect picture. But I think a picture is a memory, of a time and a place that you just want to cherish. So let's make that memory better. Not just remember that I had to ask 10 people to take this picture. If you're going on a group trip, practice a couple of looks in the mirror, of exactly what you think you'll look like when you come out in those photos. A lot of people go on Instagram, Facebook, social media, they see this person with that picture and they want to recapture that. Ladies, let me tell you something. I have been on many, many, many trips, and I have met those Instagram photo ready people. That is not a photo ready. A lot of these have got production people behind them. They have photographers to take that. They stand and do so many different poses before they actually get the actual picture. The one you see may take about 30 minutes or so to actually construct the right wind, the right whatever. So when you go there and you expect a fellow group member to take you exactly that one, it's not. But the good thing about group travel, there is always somebody in the group who is good at photos, who will tell you, girl, you need to stand like this, okay? One thing I would say, if you're taking a photo or even getting your photo taken, look at your surroundings. I've been to events where I've asked somebody to take me a picture, and right in front of there's a sign that says toilet. Hello, I didn't want the toilet. I wanted the other side, the scenic side. And then I look at the pictures I've taken of them. I've taken lovely mountains and whatever. So I would also look around you before you ask somebody to take your pictures, so you get a good quality, nice background picture. Okay, number 9, patience. Remember, they say patience is a virtue. There are people in the group who will take longer than everybody else to do anything. We get this a lot when we go and we're buying souvenirs. Because it's a monetary transaction, some people want to make sure that they're getting the best value for their buck. So in turn, they will take a long time. If you are, arranging a travel group, the best thing I'd say to you is, if you've gone on a shopping trip, or if you've gone into a market and you've done an excursion and you're at the end of it, you just say to people, okay, we've just been on this ride. We'll just give everybody like 10 to 15 minutes here to buy, your souvenirs or whatever the case may be. And then we will have to leave. Yeah. Then we do the next thing on the program. The reason we say that is sometimes people don't really know how long they should be in there. Okay, so if you know, and if your guide hasn't said, just go and say to her, how long are we going to be here for? That way, it doesn't annoy the other people thinking, oh my goodness, she's taking so long. And if you're one of those people who can just go in and say, okay, When I travel, I get fridge magnets. So I'm picking up a fridge magnet. Here I go, I'm done. Use that time to go and update your social media then, so that you're not literally standing there glaring at that person, making them feel uncomfortable, or, it just brings a little bit of a morale down. So I would say catch up on your social media, catch up on your emails, send a message to your loved ones or your friends and family, just to let them know how the trip is going. And, do you know what? Before you know it, the 10 minutes is up and everybody's ready to go. Okay, and last but not least is differences. No matter whether it's family, friends, colleagues, as soon as you've got a group of people, there is going to be some sort of differences. Okay, what I would say is try and hash it out with the person that you've had a difference with. Or if something has happened mutually, in front of a lot of people, rather than ignite the fire, I'm one of those people that, okay, see the person and ask to speak to them a little bit later, and just bump in and say, hey, this happened earlier on, and I'm really sorry if I offended you, or this is how I felt. I just wanted to come and speak to you one-on-one and see this is why this escalated. Don't get into a screaming match. Don't get into a fist fight. Definitely don't get into a fist fight, because you might end up on the wrong side of the law in a different country. That's not what we want to hear. But don't get into a screaming match. I've had to learn as well. I've had to learn to be patient with certain people. I've had to learn to swallow my little pride and watch people and say, okay, remember the purpose and the vision that I'm here. But yes, we are human. It will happen from time to time. This will affect you. But anyway, here we go. That was my top 10 tips of how to survive or how I survive my group trips. And I'm hoping that this will help a few people out there and encourage you to go ahead and go on that group trip and have fun. Don't forget that if you want to watch more content from me, you need to click the subscribe button and follow me, and I will be posting more information about our travels, our trips. All our group travel trips at the moment will be are posted on our website, and that's www.msbgrouptravel.co.uk. We are based in the UK, so most of our trips do start from the UK. So feel free to ask any questions, but I really would love to hear your feedback. Please leave that in the comments down below. Thank you.